The Smashing Machine is directed by Benny Safdie, and it's about the true story of MMA fighter Mark Kerr, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This is a true story about Mark Kerr, who was one of the pioneers of MMA. This isn't a story that I personally knew about. It's not a sport that I follow, and typically I'm not one for sports movies or movies about a sport or a biopic about a famous, athlete or sports player or whatever. But in this case, it was very different. I originally heard about this movie from a friend that he knows that I really like A24 films, so I had to look into it once I started hearing about it. First of all, you cannot tell that that's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I mean, maybe you could a little bit, but they did a really good job. He's in prosthetics that look really good. They make him look a little stiff, but overall, they did a really, really good job. He looks freaking huge, and he looks very similar to the real-life pictures of Mark Kerr at the time that this took place in. This isn't just a movie about someone who's good at a sport. It's a lot more than that. Similar to Rocky in the way that, very little of the movie Rocky is him actually boxing. A lot of it is a movie about the character Rocky and how he grew and developed and, the things that he had to go through personally to get there. And that's why people like that movie. That's why I love Rocky. Now, in a much less stereotypical, or I guess you could say over-the-top fashion, this movie does the same thing. It goes through more of the personal life of Mark Kerr and the things and the struggles and all the gyrations of life as he's, becoming this champion and he keeps racking up these wins. It's a lot different of a story, almost like the reverse of Rocky, but I do think this movie is going to be the Rocky of the new generation. Adrian! Adrian! It's not Adrian this time, but Emily Blunt plays Mark's girlfriend, Dawn. She does a phenomenal job. It was a totally different role for her. I've never seen her play a role like that. Similar to the fact that I've never seen Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson play a role like he did here. Everyone's kind of out of their comfort zone, but it was so good. It was so enthralling just how much they were putting into these characters and how different of a character they were for both of them. I'm sure it was very challenging. You go through their lives and a lot of the time you're seeing things through the lens of his personal life. So you're seeing his victories, his hardships in his professional life, but then you're seeing the personal struggles he's having, individually, but then with the relationship. And as much as it sounds melodramatic, and as much as I know that people will criticize this movie for being melodramatic, I can already see it coming. I haven't looked at reviews. I know they're going to say that. They're going to say it was boring, that there was a lot of melodrama, that the narrative wasn't compelling enough. Here's the reality. Life sometimes is melodramatic, but what this movie does such a fantastic job of is bringing you in, making you feel what the characters are feeling, making you care about them. And at the end of the day, isn't that what you want from a drama? This is the same argument I had for the movie The Whale back when that came out. It was heavily criticized for being melodramatic, even though it did receive critical acclaim, but from a lot of critics, it was viewed as a melodramatic, boring film. In my opinion, it was a one-setting film that made me care a lot about somebody who was morbidly obese and basically ate themselves into a prison, but made me care so much because you're seeing the world through their lens, what the reality is like. And Benny Safdie pulled it off here. And it's not just the narrative, and it's not just the directing, it's everything that went into this movie. The sound design, the actual fights themselves, the way everything was filmed. It is so well directed. The music they chose was great. It was sort of strange, actually. It's not exactly what you would have expected. It's a little bit of a tone shift from probably what you'd expect from this type of movie, but that kind of kept you on your toes. That kept me engaged because it wasn't what I was expecting. It kept me kind of more in and made me a little anxious, to be honest, in a lot of parts because there's this fast jazz music playing, but it just works. It's hard to explain. You just have to go see it. Ryan Bader plays Mark Coleman in this movie, and he's not an actor. He's a wrestler, right? He's a fighter, but he did a really good job. I mean, in some moments I could tell that he's not an actor, but him and The Rock had a really good chemistry. They're best friends in the film, best friends in real life, the characters that they're playing. and it just worked so well. It really, really did. I can't say good enough things about the acting in this movie. I heard from a friend, and I haven't really verified this, but I heard that The Rock wasn't even going to do this film. He didn't want to play this character originally because he thought it would be difficult. And apparently a friend of his convinced him to go and get out of his comfort zone and to try this role out. And I'm so glad he did. I can't imagine anybody else playing this role. I think that The Rock, for a lot of people, even people who aren't into movies, I think most people could agree with this. The main talking point, everybody says this, is, man, I wish The Rock would just stop playing The Rock. Because even when he's in a comedy, even when he's in sort of like a serious movie, it's sort of more like PG comedy still, and it's just him, I love movies like Walking Tall and some other films he's done where it's a little more gritty. This was perfect. This was outside of his comfort zone, and he dominated it. I hope he does more movies like this because he has range, and it's good. It didn't even look like him. He's inside of a prosthetic suit. I don't really know how you portray emotion through that, but he did it. And he did it really well. I hope this is the change that we needed from The Rock. I hope this is the start of something new. I hope he does more movies like this that are a little grittier. And that's exactly how I would describe the tone of this movie. It was gritty. It was a little bit seedy, even. It was not pulling any punches. And there are a lot of moments where I think it could make certain people a little uncomfortable because it's just so raw. But that's what I love about it. And that's what the Safdie brothers both do such a good job of. Josh and Benny Safdie are brothers. They both directed Uncut Gems, one of my favorite movies of all time. This time, Benny on his own is directing The Smashing Machine, and he brought that same sort of tone, that same directing style to it, but with a little bit of his own spin on it, and I really enjoyed it. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It keeps you super engaged in something that really, at the end of the day, people are right in a way. I know what people are going to say, that it's melodramatic. And it is. It is. And I don't think it's unsatisfying. I think there's a lesson underneath the whole thing. And with such fantastic filmmaking, melodrama isn't a negative. I really believe that. With such phenomenal filmmaking, this could be the Rocky of our generation. I loved this movie. I think you're going to love this movie if you go in without expecting Rocky. That's why I hesitate to say that, because Rocky is an amazing movie. I love that franchise. I love Rocky. I love Creed. But at the end of the day, there's a formula to those movies. This movie isn't that. It's not going to be that linear. It's a drama, first and foremost, and it's based on a true story. So I think that most people that go into it with expecting, that, will enjoy this film, will really like this film. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you go see it. I hope we support more movies like this. A24 has been just putting out banger after banger. They have a few misses here and there, but this got a really wide release. I was so happy that it came to my local theater, because normally I have to travel really far to see A24 films. Even The Whale, I traveled far to see that. If you look at your local theater, they're probably showing The Smashing Machine. Go see it while you can. Support this movie. It is super enjoyable. The Rock is incredible in it. Emily Blunt is incredible in it. Just go see it. Trust me. You're going to enjoy it. It's not a perfect film. My only criticisms of it is that at times I thought the pacing was a little slow, but A24 movies tend to be that way, where they kind of are a little more artsy. For me, I enjoy it. I don't care. But being objective about it, I can see certain people being like, okay, let's get on with it a little bit. That's my only criticism, but it's a very nitpicky one. Overall, I give The Smashing Machine an A-. Thank you guys as always for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you planning on going to see this film? Have you already seen it? If you've seen it, what did you think? Let me know down below. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. See ya.